When the Mick country representative heard this, he immediately became excited as if seeing hope for survival, saying, "All right, no problem. As long as I can live, I'll do whatever you want." Musashi Ten nodded with satisfaction, a malicious smile appearing on his face as he said, "Good. Now, say loudly with me, our Mick country people are all trash. We're the grandsons of Cherry Blossom Country's people." The Mick country representative was stunned, saying with difficulty, "Well, this..." Dissatisfaction flashed across Musashi Ten's face as he asked, "What? Don't want to say it?" The Mick country representative gritted his teeth and said, "How can I say such a thing? Our Mick country's delegates are watching everything in the observation room right now. If I say such a thing, I would be insulting all of Mick country." "Ha ha ha!" Musashi Ten's laughter interrupted the Mick country representative's words. "It's precisely because your delegates are watching everything here that this is so interesting, isn't it? I can't wait to broadcast the scene of you kneeling down and calling us Cherry Blossom Country people your grandfathers. I can't wait to let everyone see it." "You," the Mick country representative was burning with rage, his eyes full of humiliation. However, he only managed to say one word before Musashi Ten slightly pressed down with his blade, making him dare not speak further. Musashi Ten spoke in a completely nonchalant tone. "You can choose not to say whatever I just told you, and let me kill you quickly instead. Perhaps, in the end, those of Mick country might consider you a hero who chose death over surrender. Well, that is if you weren't kneeling right now. In any case, the choice is yours. Say it, and we'll let you go. Don't say it, and I'll kill you with one strike." After speaking, Musashi Ten watched the Mick country representative, applying slightly more force, making the blade cut a deeper wound in his neck. The pain from the wound made the Mick country representative hesitate, but finally, his resolve broke. Seeing Musashi Ten already gripping his sword hilt with both hands, ready to behead him, the Mick country representative finally shouted with a trembling voice, Don't do it. I'll say it. I'll say what you want me to say." Musashi Ten smiled until his eyes narrowed, and indeed lifted his blade. "Very well, go ahead and say it." The Mick country representative, with utter humiliation, knelt and shouted, We Mick country people are all trash. We're Cherry Blossom Country's grandsons. Is that good enough?" Musashi Ten picked at his ear, dissatisfied. "Just that? Louder. I couldn't hear anything." Left with no choice, the Mick country representative could only increase his volume and continue shouting what Musashi Ten made him say, his face red with shame. Musashi Ten was finally satisfied, a twisted smile appearing on his face. Jin Chengyan watched all this from the side, shaking his head with impatience. He had long known that people from Cherry Blossom Country had some kind of pathological hobbies. He had not expected Musashi Ten to be the same, and have such vulgar and boring taste. Presumably this scene had already been witnessed by Mick Country's delegates. In their observation room, there must be a few people boiling with rage. It was precisely because of this that Musashi Ten felt excited. For some reason, many of those from Cherry Blossom Country had a unique view of the world. It would not be wrong to say that their minds were twisted to the extreme at least, from the view of outsiders. Just as Musashi Ten was enjoying himself, Jin Chengyan suddenly caught sight of something in his peripheral vision, his brows slightly furrowing. An abyss summoner suddenly darted out from the side, biting down on the Mick country representative's body. The Mick country representative only managed a single cry of anguish before being directly devoured by the abyss summoner. Above Jin Chengyan's head, his points changed, surging upward to reclaim second place. Musashi Ten had been thoroughly enjoying himself, but now that his toy was gone, he became immediately dissatisfied. Sheathing his katana, he asked Jin Chengyan, "Jin-san, what are you doing? I was not done having fun yet. Why did you kill him?" Jin Chengyan dismounted from his abyss crawler while rolling his eyes. He would have died sooner or later anyway. Better to do it early and save the trouble. Besides, I don't believe you would have actually let him go. After all, those of Cherry Blossom Country are always utterly heartless in your actions. Ha ha ha, being called utterly heartless did not anger Musashi Ten. Instead, he burst out laughing. This was firstly because Jin Chengyan was correct. and secondly because Musashi Ten knew this was Jin Chenggen's way of getting back at him. After all, he had frequently brought up how Extremisty's country lacked competitive spirit throughout their journey. The two were birds of a feather, just exchanging banter and pointing out each other's flaws. Musashi Ten continued, "Though I definitely would have killed him, didn't we agree earlier that I would be the one to do it? You suddenly striking and snatching the kill must be to grab the points, right? I think since we're already allies, we shouldn't be so petty." Jin Chenggen gave him a sidelong glance and added, "I didn't kill him for the points. You were being too slow about it. Keeping the Mick country representative alive would have let their delegates see things they shouldn't see." As he spoke, Jin Chenggen controlled the Abyss Summoner beside him to move its body, revealing a transport array hidden behind it. In front of the transport array stood a person. It was Jin Zayan. "Second uncle." Jin Chenggen walked forward and bowed. "You coming in at this time, do you have some information you want to share with us?" Jin Zayan nodded, glanced at Musashi Ten, and without speaking to him, said to Jin Chenggen, "Let's talk privately. The transport array is unstable. I need to quickly tell you all that I know and then leave." Meanwhile, as the fallen corpse puppets grew in number, Lu Fan gradually became more familiar with controlling them. Generally speaking, pets could not stray too far from their master. However, fallen corpse puppets did not have this restriction after receiving orders. They could move freely, going as far from Lu Fan as they wanted. Lu Fan gradually developed a new way to use the fallen corpse puppets. Instead of having them follow their dark castle's movement, he dispersed them to kill any monsters they encountered. This way, he could remotely collect experience points and points. Although Lu Fan could not control these fallen corpse puppets any better, he did not care. He had tens of thousands of them. Sending them to fight in the north and south, their life or death did not concern him. After careful planning, Lu Fan only kept the 3 of the 9 hell demons by his side, and all major fallen corpse puppet bosses were stored in the puppet subspace. Later, when Lu Fan encountered enemies, he could summon them to help him kill his foes. Besides the major bosses, the last wave of monsters from the 3 dark castles, level 75 gold grade bosses, were also kept by Lu Fan to use as cannon fodder. As for the other monsters, Lu Fan did not think much of them. On the other side, the Earth Bloodbender was also ready for battle. The system showed that it was level 85, and its main power was Phantom Tiger Step. The main feature of this power is that it instantly transforms into several transparent and twilight illusions around the player. They appear randomly with each attack. The illusions explode and disappear, causing heavy magical damage in the area of effect. And the second power is the Thunderclaw Strike, which explodes on the ground with the reconstruction of thunder, forming cold crystals. This destruction then generates a massive electrical shock wave, causing massive electrical effects. And the third main power is known as Soul Hunting Tiger. Targets killed by Soul Hunting Tiger explode into soul fragments, permanently reducing their maximum health by 60%. During this time, the target's healing effects are reduced by 30%. Earth Blood Demon. At the same time, Thundercoats strike on him and quickly moves towards him. Lu Fan stands very calmly, and he is also preparing his attack. But just as the Blood Slave Demon gets close to him, the Earth Demon grabs him tightly at the same time. And then she uses the Death Coil power at the same time. This power has the ability to create chains using her body and limbs and bind and immobilize enemies, which inflicts side effects, poison, and stunned effects. The limbs inflict tearing damage, which increases the level of damage. Seeing that this is also an Earth Demon, he becomes very angry and glares at the Earth Demon. "Why are you doing this? Why are you helping a human?" He did not know that he was being made a puppet by Lu Fan and was following his orders. And then he uses Blood Claws at the same time, which uses the claws to rapidly rip apart the target and inflict heavy damage. It also increases his strength by 200% for 12 seconds. Saying this, at the same time the Earth Demon comes near him and attacks his face with its claws, due to which he gets badly injured and falls on the ground. But the next moment he takes his last breath and dies. The system shows that the Blood Demon is now dead. Also, the system shows that Lu Fan's score has been increased by 36,718 points. Lu Fan smiles seeing this, and then he comes to the Earth Demon with his sword and says, 2 9 demons are already so powerful, and if 9 attack together, what will happen to you? Now Lu Fan had a very large army.